We're all at different phases, different stages of our creative journeys. And when we grow an awareness of where we're at, we can apply the tools, which I'll teach you some tools today, and I'll share with you some tools as well. We can apply those tools to where we're at on our journey rather than just fumbling our way through it and feeling lost. I want to share a document with you because we have been talking a lot about chakras. And those of you who've been around Awakened Creators for a really long time know that that was kind of like the big to-do back in the day. It was like all I talked about. I've expanded a little bit more because we're all multidimensional. We like to talk about more than one thing constantly, right? But whenever I am one-on-one or in group settings with creators, it's always going to come up, because for my personal journey, understanding the chakras has been a lifeline of understanding, so I can move out of the confusion and stress of what I was going through and actually see a path forward. So I created this years ago, and you'll probably recognize the chakra colors. We've got the root chakra down at the bottom, and then the sacral, solar plexus, which is yellow, the heart green, the throat light blue, the third eye indigo, and the crown as violet. As I kind of went along my own creative journey, it was shown to me that the chakras were not just a way to understand your energetic body, but to understand a lot of life, including your creative journey. So the way I like to think of it as is starting at the root. You're just starting out, right? And the root chakra is all about feeling safe and secure, having your basic needs met. And unfortunately, a lot of creators are stuck in that root chakra, not feeling like they have the financial ability to even start on their path to get the supplies that they need. Maybe you were told art is not a worthwhile endeavor. So it just doesn't feel like a safe activity to even begin on, right? But if, let's say, we move through some of those things and we create that sense of security within ourselves, we can move on into our sacral stage. And in the sacral stage of the creative journey, that's where we start playing with our creative energy and getting to know our own uniqueness. But again, that's where we're going to face all those times we were called weird or a freak or what you want to do, I don't get it, all that stuff, all that rejection. And a lot of it's tied to our adolescent years in the sacral can stop us there. And that's actually why the road curves right there. I call that the first curveball. Because if we can't get past that first curveball, it's very likely we won't continue our creative journey, because it will just feel like too much, like we're too strange, and like, well, no one will understand what I want to do anyways, so what's the point? And we'll veer off and, go do something else and maybe regret it all of our life. But if we can make it past that first curveball and we empower ourselves and we recognize that our uniqueness is our strength, that the weird things that we want to create art about or the way we want to create art is perfectly imperfect, we can move into that empowered space in that solar plexus. But now here's where you're faced against, do you have the courage? Are you committed to this? Are you really ready to be bold and take action towards your creative dreams? Are you going to get on that stage? Are you going to go to that art show? Are you going to do those things? Are you going to read your poem in front of everybody? I go to that critique group. I know what that's like. Scary as F, having everyone pick apart your creation. So there's, again, a lot of reasons that can come up in that solar plexus where we're just, it's too much. I give up. But if you can build that inner fire, that strength, that knowing that I have everything I need. I have everything I need, right? And just embody that. Now you can get into that heart space. Now you can start really allowing that creative energy to flow more freely. That was bubbling up in the sacral, but now it's shooting out. It's wanting to shoot out like a rainbow from your heart. But here's the second curveball. Because now you're exposing your heart to the whole world, and what will they think? Maybe they'll say it's not good enough. Maybe you'll see another creator and think, oh my God, what they create is so wonderful. And what I create is just like not even anywhere near as good. And that disappointment. Or you will go do your first show and get booed off stage, or someone will heckle you, or no one will come. And if we don't have the tools to navigate that second curveball, we can feel so heartbroken that we tried, we came so far, we put ourselves out there, we did all of that, and we feel ashamed and embarrassed and worthless. And again, many of us will veer off the road the other way. And unfortunately, some of us will veer off in a way they cannot come back. And that's what almost happened to me multiple times, and why I'm so passionate about this work, because I've seen one too many creators veer off that path in a way they can never come back. But if you can hold on, if you can build the strength, if you can know your worth, here in yourself, in that fruitful darkness, find that worth and affirm to yourself, I am love. I am worthy. I am a creator. I am this. It's who I am. Then we can move into the outer world. So we're splitting here, right? Before we're doing all this inner stuff. Now we're past the heart. We're going into the outer world. Now we're sharing it. We're vocalizing it. We're telling people, I'm a this, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, I'm a whatever. I do this. I'm known for this. And people start coming. You start getting attention. You start being asked questions. And again, we can shut down here, right? We can get scared that we don't have the answers, that we aren't smart. We don't sound smart when we try to explain your story in 5 seconds or less. Tell me what you're working on. Talk to me about your art. Stage fright, right? But if we can build that strength, that knowing, and connect that heart to that throat and speak truth from the heart, then we can boldly move out into the outer world with our vision in our third eye, the final curveball that asks us to believe in the impossible, that asks us to hold true to our vision, that asks us to believe it before we see it, that we will be a best-selling author, that we will be in the movies someday, that we will have our fashions gracing the stores, that we will be able to make a living out of this. I see it in my mind's eye so clearly, but I'm not sure if I believe it. And if we can't get behind that belief, it can be very difficult for it to manifest. So strengthening that trust in yourself, that what you see in your vision, what you feel in your heart, what you tap into when you're in your most centered and connected self, that it can't be not true, that it must be true. It must be so. I see it. I feel it. I trust it. If you can solidify that trust, you can hold that vision long enough until it makes manifest. And that's the stage at which you are doing the thing. You have become now the creator that you used to dream about. You're living it daily. That's not the end of the journey for us as creatives. Having reached that pinnacle is not the end of it. The crown is the final stage. And that's the stage at which you begin to see the bigger purpose of that, what you are doing. That it's not just about you. It's not just about you creating what you want to create and living a life of freedom and joy and fulfillment. It's about giving back. It's about service. It's about how does what I am putting out there contribute to the greater good of all, and taking responsibility for that, helping others on the same journey, helping those who are at the stages you were when you were struggling, and guiding them forward, turning your hand back and holding and pulling them. So with all that in mind, you might want to spend some time thinking about where you feel like you might be on that road right now. Are you at the root? Are you still trying to help yourself feel safe enough to even do this? Are you battling with the sacral? Are you trying to feel comfortable enough with your unique style and your weirdness? Are you trying to build that confidence? Are you still working on feeling empowered enough to make this rest of this journey? Or are you in your heart healing heartbreak, grief, finding it within yourself to believe in your worth without any external validation? Or are you at the throat stage where you're starting to show up outside in the outside world, sharing, talking about what you're doing and making connections with other people? Or have you done that already? And now you're in your third eye trying to build that trust in yourself, in your vision, in your future, to know it to be true. Or maybe you are at the crown stage where you feel like there's something greater here. Am I the one to do this? Am I the one to really do this? And the answer is yes. Those of us who doubt our leadership abilities the most are the ones who should be leaders. So thinking about where you're at on your path. So you might see your little car on that road in a specific position. Maybe you're on the road. Maybe you're parked on the side of the road thinking about it for maybe you've got a broken tire. Now we're going to ask our body for the wisdom because maybe our thinking mind just can't quite point to it. So let's get quiet. Let's go within and let's ask our bodies, which are so wise, where there might be some resistance to where we're at or with a particular issue. This is the gift of learning to do these body scans, is you can come to it with a question, like a very specific event is coming up or you're facing, or a project you're working on, and you're wanting to know and ask your body, where is there resistance to this project? Why am I struggling with this right now? And pinpoint what chakra, and thus understand the related issues that might be connected to that. Okay. Or you can ask yourself more broadly, on my creative journey, where am I on my creative journey? So you ask yourself that question. You decide what question you want to ask your body right now. Maybe it's about a specific project or thing you're facing. Maybe it's your creative journey in general that you want to know about.